So today we were starting our 4-day trek to Machu Picchu via the Ancascocha Trail. This trail is less popular than the Inca Trail, which means it's much quieter. And to be fair, we didn't see another person or group until we joined the Inca Trail on the last day. The hike started at Machu Picchu at 3,000 metres above sea level. The plan for day 1 was to hike up to the small village of Chilipahua, where we would camp for the night at 4,000 metres above sea level. This would take around 7 hours in total with a stop for lunch. The Ancascocha Trail is considered a challenging hike due to the steepness and altitude gains whilst hiking.
Oh my goodness. I've got my poncho. I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Compared to that shit.
On the way to the starting point of the trek, we enjoyed some lovely views and also caught a glimpse of the train that takes people to Machu Picchu. We stopped en route to buy some last-minute ponchos and supplies, and we were told this was the last chance we would have to use the toilet before starting our trek, so we made the most of this. There were many cute dogs that wanted to get on our bus and come with us. It was a really lovely and pretty place, and the people seemed very friendly here. We arrived at the starting point and had to organise our bags. The sleeping bags and duffel bags were taken to camp directly by the horses, so we had to leave them on a mat, and then we filled our water bladders, had a team talk and got ready. There was time for a team photo before setting off up the mountain. We were told to walk slowly and the guide set the pace. It was important to walk slowly as going too fast could make you feel ill with the altitude. It was also quite hard to breathe as it was over 3,000 metres above sea level and it was all uphill at this point. We had plenty of rest breaks though, which were well needed, and the views were absolutely stunning. We also had a doctor with us in case anyone got poorly with the altitude. This was one of our first main rest stops where we could actually sit down. This was right after a big incline, so it was very well needed. It took me a while to recover before I could start filming again. I really wanted to vlog more on this day, but it was so tough. I just couldn't breathe properly, let alone talk, and really had to focus on what I was doing. The breaks where I could have vlogged were spent recovering. The guides were amazing though and looked after us so well and always made time for pictures. I was struggling quite a bit, so the guide took my bag off me and put it on the horse. I felt really bad for the horse, but I don't think I could have done it that day with my bag.
Vámonos, vámonos. Everyone ready? How was the snacks, okay?
Amazing. Thank you.
Very nice. Too much food.
Where?
That one up there, in the
Oh yeah.
where it dips.
Is very, very important. You know? Some idea?
No.
Because there is animals that they can eat.
Why is represent the sky world, the condor? For example, right now, where is the condor? It was flying like that.
It is tough, you know, to level off the trek.
Now it's just when we need to see how we're walking.
When we arrived at the lunch stop, tents had already been put up for us, so we had some shelter from the heavy rain. And there were chefs cooking for us. The food was amazing, honestly nicer than you'd get in many restaurants. The team worked so hard and we were so grateful. Without them, we wouldn't have been able to complete the trek. The rain stopped after lunch and it got very hot very quickly, so out came the sun cream. I was also surprised that there was an actual flushing toilet for us to use here. Luxury. The afternoon was more trekking. This part was more up and down. It was another few hours until we arrived at camp, which would be 4,000 metres above sea level. The horses and the rest of the team passed us on the way to camp. It's amazing how they had the time to pack everything up and carry all the stuff they had to carry, and still they passed us. I felt so bad for the horses though, carrying all of the stuff. We were told to stand mountainside to avoid the horses as the path was very narrow and they were getting a bit frightened of us all. We finally arrived at camp and I was so happy. Basically, we had to now collect our duffel bags and pick a tent. I felt really lucky to be in such beautiful surroundings.
Hello.
So what day is this now? Day one? Day
Day one of the actual trek up.
Yeah.
Day 4 of the actual entire thing.
Yeah, so we've made it to the first camp. And how was it today, Dan?
TLDR.
What does that mean?
Too long didn't read. To surmise, I never knew hell could look so beautiful.
It was really tough. Like, to be honest, like, I feel like shit. And it's mostly down, I think, to the altitude. Like,
100%.
yeah. So like my legs felt fine. And really, the actual hike, yes, it was quite steep in a lot of places. Like, it was really, really steep. And I think it shocked me, like, how steep it actually was.
It
But
was just the breathing.
yeah, but it was the breathing, like, just trying to catch your breath. Like, when you're going up the, even on the flat, like, but even when you go up any hill, I just could not breathe. And it's nothing like I've ever experienced before. And I don't think that any training could have prepared for
Unless
this.
we lived here.
Unless you live here or go to somewhere high altitude, like beforehand. But yeah, it's like the actual hike itself, yes, it was steep, but like it's not really that different to like some of the mountains in the UK that we've done in training. But like the way I felt, the way I was, like the way my breathing was, I felt like I hadn't done any training. Like, I felt so unfit. But I know it's the altitude. A lot of people are struggling with the altitude. It's not just us, is it?
But we had donkeys.
Yeah, so I was struggling a lot at the start. So they took my backpack off me, and I had no choice in that, did I? Because I was saying, no, it's fine, I'll keep it.
I want to see how we get on, and
yeah,
the
but he
porter
took.
was just like, give.
He was like, give, and he took it off me and put it onto the horse. And like, honestly, that helped so much. Like, I felt so much, like I still felt like shit, but I felt a lot better.
Yeah.
Like, after not having the heavy weight. So yeah, I think the altitude is not to be underestimated. And it's probably the hardest thing I've done. Even though I've done other challenges, I've never done anything at high altitude before. And I did question my life choices quite a few times, and I'm thinking, I'm never doing anything like this again. I'm never doing anything at high altitude again, because it was just so hard. I've tried to drink lots of water, but I've got such a dry throat all the time and like a cough. And there is a doctor here, isn't there?
Yes.
And we did ask him about it, and he was saying that it's quite common at these altitudes to get like a dry.
Well, it's due to the medication we're taking.
Yeah, and
for the
also
altitude sickness.
we're taking medication for altitude sickness, which makes you really thirsty. So that's probably not helping, and also I feel really run down just from lack of sleep and the travelling. Like, we were up so early this morning. What time were we up? 5 o'clock?
Yeah, 5
this.
o'clock.
But like, the scenery is amazing.
The
people are amazing. Like, they can't do enough for you. The food is amazing, but I felt really bad earlier because I felt so bad and ill that I felt like I couldn't enjoy it. I couldn't enjoy the food. I couldn't eat half of the food that I was given because I had no appetite. And I'm just not, like, even though the scenery is beautiful, I'm just like not enjoying it in that sense because I just don't feel like crap. So I've not done as many videos and things as I'd like to do. But apparently today was one of the harder days, right?
Yes.
Because it was literally how many hours uphill?
So, probably around 3-4 hours.
3-4 hours, like, uphill constantly. We did have lots of breaks, but we needed them. Like, I couldn't have carried on without those breaks.
And it was like literally, and like literally using the word literally properly, it was uphill.
Yeah, like really steep. Like, I'd
Very,
say
very tough gradient.
one of the steepest walks that I've probably done.
It was basically like the Clamberis path.
Yeah, a bit like,
Like
Snowdon,
after-
but like
After the midpoint.
no relenting. It was just constant all the way. And then after lunch, it was kind of up and down. I'm just hoping that I feel better and acclimatise.
You get some food in, you get some sleep. Talk
Yeah.
to Dr. Mann.
Yeah, I want to enjoy it, and I got upset earlier because I wasn't enjoying the experience because I felt so crap, and all I wanted to do was enjoy it. So, and I feel like I'm not enjoying it because I don't feel great.
We made it.
Yeah, but we did it.
Main thing.
We made it to the first camp,
Yeah.
and it was about how many miles?
7. It was exactly 7 miles.
Yeah, 7
according to
miles,
our
but
map.
like on really tough terrain. Like,
Yeah.
so it took all day. It took from what time did we set off? I can't remember.
Well, we left at 6 in the morning. It took us like an hour and a half, an hour and 40 minutes to get to the base park.
Yeah, and then now it's like 4:30, and then I think tomorrow it's like another early start, like 5 a.m. every morning. So the way I feel right now, which is really bad, is that I just want it to be over, even though it's so beautiful. And like I said, the camp is amazing. Like, the tents are like, they are really comfortable. So they've given us like camping mats, and we've got sleeping
Yeah, it's really
bags.
good.
And then I'll just show the what's that? I don't know if you can see that. But yeah. Can I turn this round? I don't know how to do it.
You'd have to stop recording.
So I'll like just turn it round and show the camp. So like, they're currently setting up all of the tents for I guess where we're having the food. We had lunch in a tent earlier and it was absolutely pissing it down.
It was nice.
It was the weather has been really hot, to be honest. Like, it started off hot. It's been like, I don't even know what the temperature is, but it feels hot. But then halfway through, just before we got to lunch, it started pissing it down, didn't it? Like, really, really heavy, and the temperature dropped. So we all put our raincoats on, ponchos on, and then when we stopped for lunch, like, luckily the tent that we had food in was really warm, and we managed to get out of the rain. Yeah, and we had what was it? Pumpkin soup
Pumpkin soup and chicken stew.
and chicken.
Chicken soup.
I hardly ate any of it though, which was annoyed about because it looked so nice, and I did have a cocoa leaf tea as well, which is meant to help with altitude sickness. So yeah, like I say, it's not ideal. I knew with all of the travelling and everything that, you know, just the jet lag and everything, I knew I'd get run down. But I don't know how much of it is jet lag and how much of it is the tablets and how much of it is altitude, but the breathing is definitely altitude, and the dry throat could be altitude. But the doctor seemed to think it was. He didn't seem that concerned, did he? He just said, take paracetamol. And
he's going to have a talk with you later as well.
he said he was going to have a talk with me later. Yeah, so
Go into more detail.
I'm going to have some more paracetamol in a minute. So I think the plan is now to just chill out, and then we've got food. And then I'm just going to rest, probably just go to sleep.
Get some comfy clothes on.
Yeah.
Get out this hike.
I don't know if I can be bothered to even get changed. I've got no energy to even get changed. I really need the toilet. We've got toilet tents behind us. I don't know what they're going to be like.
It's just drop toilets.
It's drop toilets. But the toilets so far have been alright, haven't they?
Yeah,
Like
they've been fine.
where we had lunch, the last camp had like actual toilets, which I wasn't expecting. I thought it was going to be like, you know, you have to go behind a bush sort of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was like a nice surprise. But yeah, is there anything else you want to add, Dan?
No,
I can't even talk.
Just gonna get into my comfy clothes now.
Yeah, but I think we've done well. Like,
Well, we've both done well. We both
Like-
made it here.
I struggled more than what I expected. I've done so much training, so much prep for this trip. And yeah, I did get a bit upset earlier because I thought, I've not done enough, I'm really unfit.
Hiking gets exponentially harder when you can't breathe properly.
Yeah, so I think it doesn't matter how fit you are. I think it doesn't matter how fit you are with the
We've got a
altitude.
lot of really fit people here, haven't we?
Yeah, there's a lot of
There's
fit people.
People have just had to give up their bags and stuff.
Lots of people have given up their bags, and I'm hoping they let me give up my bag on it every day. Actually,
I
I
don't have a problem with doing it.
yeah, I really struggled with the bag. And normally I hike with a backpack all the time.
Yeah.
Not a problem. In the UK, this would have been tough in the UK, but doable. Like, I wouldn't have felt like I couldn't breathe, I don't think.
No, obviously not.
But yeah, it's just been like really shit, like the way I've felt. And I hope that it gets better. But yeah, that's an update on the first day of the. How many days are we trekking?
We're gonna have a look at the map after this, but it's maybe 4.
4 days, but I think like
4.
this is the one of the harder days. I think tomorrow's meant to be hard.
Tomorrow's hard for half of it, but then the other half of the day is going downhill. So
Yeah, and then
yeah,
when we go to the Machu Picchu,
you got the 3,000.
that's all uphill. It's all up loads of steps,
Yeah.
which I'm not looking forward to. Like going up steps is hard enough, but when you can't breathe.
Again, we just
So we'll just have to take. The thing is, it's been a very slow pace, which I'm glad about. I've been mostly at the back because I prefer to be at the back. It's less pressure. But yeah, I'm gonna stop talking now because my voice is going.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my update. Anything else, Dan?
No.
Cool.
Okay. Got like almost like an IV bag, like water cooling, water jug thing. Yeah.
Is Rambo gonna come to Machu Picchu as well?
That's not my bag.
Is Rambo gonna go to Machu Picchu?
Just something about you.
Yeah.
It's going yes to the second valley.
Just to the
No. The rest of Chloe's sleeping in her sleeping bag. No.